welcome back to BeMore Academy.
The place to be if you want to unlock your potential and live your best life.
Today we're gonna dive into relationships. And we just felt today inspired about the relationship and what is showing up for us and how it's evolving and changing and how we start to really enjoy it more and more.
Even more.
And how it's really changing. And we said, yeah, let's share this. Let's share these thoughts with the world. And it also has to do with the last few days because we were meeting some really dear friends and talking a lot about life and business and relationship and how it all kind of co-creates and how it all, how everything participates actually. How a healthy relationship can influence a healthy lifestyle and a healthy body and a healthy business and a healthy connections, with your clients or partners, especially in this business space, and how just all kind of co-creates. And if something is really not yet healed, or if there's pain in one of these areas, how it tends to, color everything into that and influences everything. And so when we talk about creating an awesome life, we're not just talking about life or just business or just relationship. It's actually everything. It's all those facets of our being or our existence that we're addressing. And we would like to, become aware of how everything is entangled, how everything kind of co-creates others, and how everything is actually in the package. And I love that actually because investing your time and investing your energy in something, for example, in relationship, for us, like relationship was and is like the founding element of whatever we kind of create or express. And it's this vehicle that helps us, grow, that helps us learn about vulnerability, about help, about co-creation, about heart connection, about allowing ourselves to enjoy.
How
and
to take responsibility for ourselves.
Yeah. It's a really awesome vehicle. And on Friday we were talking about, about this, about some friends, and there was somebody expressing this idea that, I don't like to create a relationship before I really clean, all of my pain, and before I can exist, in a really healthy environment, and then I would like to create a relationship from that space. And it's a totally valid idea and opinion, but I would really love to, invite everyone to have maybe another perspective of this, to how to actually allow things from where we are at right now. And although there's, unresolved issues, there's, pain we carry from the childhood, there's many things coloring, our experience, but start where you're at. You can create relationships now, and if you're honest and if you're, available to growth, you can just allow it to follow you up. It's not like if I make it right now, it's gonna be like this forever. It's gonna reflect you all the time. And it's when you change, relationship will change and business will change and everything kind of changes. Everything will reflect your state of being, state of am-ness. And this is how I'm just so grateful for this kind of relationship, because it was not always so radiant. It was not always encompassing so much space, for each of us to really express and shine and celebrate each other. It was this awkward moments as well. I remember when somebody of us would shine, the other one would feel like, oh my God, it's like, it was kind of hard to celebrate the greatness of each other because we felt yet not being able to express it or accomplish it for ourselves. So the greatness you see, the radiance you see, it's like in one way we see and acknowledge the radiance. In another way we feel like, oh my God, I would so love having that, and so there's resistance to it as well. And so I feel the more we're able to grow, the more we're able to be with our pain and listen to our pain and go into the healing of whatever needs to be healed, the more we're actually able to celebrate other and celebrate the greatness of others and celebrate, growth and expansion of other. And this is where I feel it starts to be like just this ecstatic flow of gratefulness and appreciation and support. And also when it turns, painful, to also facilitate the space for that pain and to really listen so that we can also, grow. Because the pain is not almost always, it's always a calling of your own unhealed part. And it's just an invitation to listen, to be available, and to really be in the mode of acceptance and hugging, and to just send your love to the part of yourself that is not yet, full on, fully enlightened, fully healed, and so that it can be rejoiced, So, really important shift, don't wait for you to be perfect, and from that perfect space you can, enter into a relationship. Start where you're at and bring all of you into the vehicle. And the vehicle can be relationship with someone or the business or partnership or whatever. So bring yourself as you're at. And the largest kind of mistake or the largest thing here is not to expect from yourself to already be perfect and then. So do it right now, because all the vehicles have space, all the vehicles will facilitate and will reflect back to you where you're at. And that's okay. So start where you're at, show up however, however painful sometimes might be, and happy sometimes might be, but just show up, and the vehicle has space, to allow yourself to show up and to allow yourself to be painful sometimes, and also to allow yourself to facilitate the healing. So I believe in all the vehicles, if you are honest with yourself and showing up, are gonna have space. They always have space. It's not like each time I'm not perfect, everything is just gonna explode. Actually, vehicles are also here in that way, to kind of show up, reflect, and just experience yourself in all the modalities, from the most blissful and joyful to also most painful and inwardly and needy. Sometimes we need the attention and love and the hugs. So think of it like this, think of it as a playground. Of course, truth and honesty is crucial, because we don't want to enter abuse. If we don't want to use this to just hold to our pain and just have this craving for attention, and from this space, if you create a vehicle from this space, it's going to be painful. But if you're ready to really grow and to allow truth, then just start where you're at, and the miracle will happen. You will be embraced, and you will be seen, and you will be in this space of vulnerability and tears, and anything that needs to be expressed, actually, and anything that needs to come through. So allow yourself to actually do it. Allow yourself to connect with somebody. Allow yourself to create this vehicle or relationship. Allow yourself, and all the messy stuff, allow everything to actually show up. And you will be surprised of how much space life actually has, It's not just gonna be exploded or deleted or whatever. It's actually, there's a lot of space for you to show up, for you to just let the control, and just see what comes. Especially, I think it has to do with pain. Like, we're used, many times where we feel pain, we do things we don't really want to do, or we show up in a way that's kind of awkward, or we also create pain for other people, or we harm, we say stuff we don't want to say. And so that's inner pain. When it shows up as things we're not normally really proud of. And since we see then, oh my God, I've hurted her or him, and I didn't really want to say this, and no. But what can you do if healing is what you need, or if facilitating that pain is what you need. So you cannot just shut down everything. You cannot say no to yourself just because somebody might get hurt, somebody might, not like it. Yeah, somebody might be really scared of it or whatever. I mean, I'm saying that's the point of that vehicle. And this yesness, this opening, this okayness to yourself and to the pain, of course not like bombard everything on the first day, but I believe like the more vehicles we create, the quality of relationship will grow with it. So if I allow your pain to be part of it and you allow my pain to be part of it, and we facilitate, we acknowledge it and help each other to just grow with it, this is where the depth happens. And this is where you start to feel, wow, I love this vehicle because it's allowing me to reflect, it's allowing me to grow, and even my most painful self can show up and still is embraced. It's not easy to arrive to that level or to that depth where you have so much space that anything is basically allowed and celebrated. But still, the way to go there is actually to believe in it. If you deny it from the start and say, I will enter it while I'm already be healed, I don't know how that can even happen. You have to allow the growth part. So you almost you have to have this vision and you have to believe in it, so that you start walking towards that space, And this is how it really can then manifest and become truth,
I'm having tears in my eyes right now because it's so much gratitude for what you are saying. You are articulating it exactly the way our relationship actually grew and evolved from this competition to really allowing us, ourselves, and our union to be completely. And I think one of the major parts in our growth was exactly this. To allow the pain to be, this emotional pain to be, and to express it, and to say, I don't feel at myself right now. And to say, yeah, it's okay. And to completely release it. And I think when we are acknowledging, when we are able to fully take responsibility for our pain, for whatever truth actually is here in this moment, it's such a healing process, and you can allow yourself to be. And this is how you can also allow the other one to completely be who he is or who she is. And now it was just like, I just almost couldn't hold the tears because it was such a journey for us. And now it's like, it's such a gratitude. I mean, we just, there were some moments where it was so hard. It was so hard because we felt we were longing for something. We were longing for, acknowledging ourselves that we could be fully. And and now it's here. And this is something that I would love that everyone can experience in their life and in their relationship, to be with their own pain in this moment and to be able to completely release it with being okay with it. And this is how we can support each other, this is how we can also say, yeah, I understand you. When there are some crises, there are some weird moments, I give myself the permission to be, and I give you the permission to be.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
I would also like to maybe just mention something else. I noticed that many times couples kind of get together and kind of magnetize, really well in two different levels. On one level is that we kind of stimulate our joy and bliss. We're kind of compatible in our joy and we inspire each other. Something in us kind of are really good to, when we get together, something happens and this magic happens, and it's just like, inspiring journey and inspiring moments and joy and laughter. But also, like, we're also together because we're compatible in our pain. So it also means that we have a compatible programming, or our past or our beliefs are also compatible, and we tend to trigger ourselves really well. Like, it means, we know what buttons to push for other one to be triggered, or when somebody is in pain, it can really create pain in another one. So we are compatible in bliss and happiness and, laughter and inspiration, but also in the pain department. And this is, I think, what's missing in many, when somebody thinks about like relationship, we would all just like to acknowledge that lightness one, that's, blissful and inspiring one. But when we talk about pain, it becomes a really, really challenging space. And we think that that something is wrong with the relationship if pain shows up and if we're being hurt, or, all that stuff. But I think both of those areas are so essential to be building something real. And to be expecting a relationship without pain is totally unrealistic, I think. And so the more you acknowledge that and the more you take it as a part of your relationship and part of the growth, the easier it is to actually facilitate whatever needs to be healed. Because healing cannot happen without pain, without acknowledging the pain and kind of start building a new relationship to that pain and recognize it as a gift, because if you follow the whole process of healing, you will see how pain is essential and how pain is actually the window or the door into that part of ourselves that actually needs our love and attention and needs to be seen and recognized and okayed, so that we can release many times some painful moments of our history. And we can invite those painful memories into the now moment, although they seem so painful now. But if we just allow them to exist here, we can emotionally process them, process it, and it's exactly what is needed. How else will you release that pain from your being? So allowing it to show up, acknowledging it, embracing it, and process, just allow your heart to process all that pain and release it. And many times there's like crying and shakiness or however, but your heart can process anything. Just mountain of pain, your heart has this capacity to just show up, to just just embracing, embracing almost the unembraceable, allowing the unallowable. And it can be rivers of pain, but your heart has capacity to really heal, to really transform it, transmute it. And once it's released from your pain, it's almost like parts of you can return back home and, become you again, kind of rejoin you in this unity. And then this unity starts to vibrate and grow. And this is how really you become more aware, more whole. And all this new space that was embraced and healed starts to really work, as inspiring part, or the gift starts to come back home. And so you amplify almost what you are. And all the system actually would like to participate now all the being would like to participate now in the growth and inspiring others and just be available to whatever, your journey is. And so if you see this healing, journey, this is how you can create a context for pain that is more grounded in reality. And so you can expect, if you can expect this and see this as part of healing, then you are able to acknowledge it and say, okay, let's work with it. Let's be available to it. And this is what changes everything. Yeah. And that's why it's important not to wait to be perfect and then, because, I don't know how this is going to go forward. So start where you're at, but just be willing to, be there, be willing to show up, be willing to speak the truth, be willing to participate, be willing to learn and listen. And this is how you can expand and then grow forward. So beautiful to be sharing all this, Today was really nice conversation we had, and I just wanted to, let it flow forward and inspire you guys. I hope you feel the vibe and the energy. Thank you so much for joining us for this transmission, for this video, and we'll catch you up in the next one. In the next videos of BeMore Academy. We love you guys.
Love you.
Love yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye.